hey boys, how's it going?
Yeah, very good.
That one was a
Good.
bit longer than normal. I liked it.
It's going to get longer and longer, I think.
I know. I think the whole pod will end up just being, us beatboxing.
Trying to beatbox. I think we're just vibing it today.
Yeah, definitely.
we're vibing
definitely.
it.
Well, hello and welcome to everyone. Here we are talking about Fantasy Premier League in the draft format.
Yeah, thank you.
It's hit the way it should be.
Exactly, and we're here to help everyone out and kind of discuss that draft side, which doesn't really get talked about too much.
No, I can't see it anywhere up online.
No, we're pretty unique.
We
they
are.
say it.
Yeah, we
Aren't
like
we?
to think so.
Yeah.
2 days off from kickoff, boys. How are we feeling?
Pretty
Good.
good.
Well, I don't know. It feels like almost. I know we've had a break, but
It has rushed up.
It hasn't felt noticeable that I'm like, oh, I'm lacking football.
Yeah.
It's been like a nice little. Because it was international football, there's been preseason.
It's been stuff
Champions League finished so late.
Yeah.
It's a bit weird, but
Don't worry about the holidays for the players. Like, let's do this every year.
I love
hate
it.
the break.
Let's roll them straight into Euro 2021. That'll be fine.
They're not really human, are they, though? They're like robots that is like we're just on the screen.
One day they
doesn't
will
seem
be.
real. Yeah. How good are those robots going to
Video
be?
games. FIFA.
So yet again, I think it's going to be tradition now that we forget to introduce ourselves.
Yeah.
So we got Myles, Heato, and Whitey here.
How's everyone doing?
Yeah, pretty good.
Good.
So I think what we'll do is lead into our first segment, a little fun segment called Snack Chat. Myles is on the snacks this week. Now, the game here is every week we've got to bring a new snack, and including a drink and something to chew on.
Yeah, we get rated every week. Obviously, it's my turn this week, and
Exactly.
I can't vote, but if I was voting, it would be 10 out of 10.
Okay.
Oh, high expectations. Well, I'm very, I'm keen for a nibble and
You
keen
want a
for a
nibble?
little sip. So,
Okay, we'll do the nibble first.
Okay.
Oh, my
shit.
God.
Is that a KFC pack?
Oh,
I see?
my God.
KFC pack. I got cold fries.
Yes.
No. Okay, so I got chocolate mousse.
Ooh,
From KFC.
dessert.
That is
Have
so
you guys ever had
No.
the KFC?
This is such a wild card.
I can't say I've
I would
had
never have
dessert.
expected chocolate mousse. My
It looks
God. I
good.
actually thought it was going to be cold chips, and I was like, I can do that.
Yeah, the packet looks like it.
Oh,
doesn't
my
it?
God. Look at this thing.
And I've got a spoon for everyone
I
as
love
well.
Chocolate mousse. I love it.
Oh, come on, man. Like plastic? Like, come on.
Oh.
It's 2020.
Oh,
Trust
my
me, it's COVID, and COVID
True.
sticks to aluminium. A bit better.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's give it a quick taste test.
Quick test.
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's some good shit right there.
That's ridiculous.
I know.
I know
So
we've got people listening and just like running straight to KFC right now.
I know.
They're like, it's wherever
We've
they
got
are. They're
blame
like,
'em.
it's 10 a.m., but I want fucking
Is this stuff
chocolate mousse.
international? Is the mousse only in Australia? I'd be very sorry if that was the case.
I don't know, but it's vegan friendly.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Is it actually?
I don't know.
We're saying it is.
And
You
for,
can't say that.
the drinks today, boys,
Yeah.
I've got CC and dry.
Oh, nice. I like
I
that.
love that choice.
Not sure how it's going to pair with mousse, but you know.
Well, look, I was close to getting some sort of beer, and I thought, I need something sweet with this mousse.
I agree. I agree with Miles' choice here. I mean, it's not easy to pair with a chocolate mousse.
Yeah.
No, I appreciate that.
And
All
after last week's with the loud crisp things we were
we
eating,
learned,
Yeah.
we've learned from that one,
I
haven't
thought
we?
the mousse was nice, a silent killer.
Mate, you've got the complete opposite. You've just got like completely overreacted.
Might see someone smacking their
He's like-
lips as they're like eating their mousse. Like,
The final thing that I will say before we rate my 10 out of 10 snack charts would, when we do these at home, we get a microfile and we file chocolate into it with Scotch finger.
Oh my God. How did you
Microplane.
How did you come up with this?
At,
experiment.
at home we nudge it a bit.
Experimenter. Well, let's get into the ratings because, we can't talk about this all week. There's plenty to talk about. Heato, why don't you lead us in with your rating, your scores on
yeah,
Miles'
this is
snacks?
my first time voting, so I'm
exciting.
setting the bar here. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the mousse, and
Good
I
place to
think for
start.
the mousse, I'm gonna give it a 7.4.
Wow.
Yeah,
I love
Okay.
that score.
7.4. Have it yourself, buddy.
I'm going to go a little higher because I love chocolate mousse. I'm going to give it a 7.9.
7.9.
Mhm.
Okay, good score.
And the CC dry, yet again,
It's always good.
you guys really know. You
Nine,
guys know my
9.8 from me.
drinks. Yeah.
Wow. Let's go.
Yeah, look, that's high.
Look, you've hit the soft spot here.
Yeah, that is definitely in Heato's range. I'm going to give it a 8.9.
Okay.
It's delicious. It's a great
Take
premix. All right, let's get into it.
Yeah, great way to wrap up Snack Chat.
Yeah, so boys, now this week we're going to be talking about preseason form. We're going to dive into the teams that have mainly the players that have been performing the best in preseason. And then we'll be going on to giving a rundown on new signings. So big signings that have come into the league just this year. Then we'll be going to talk about specifically the promoted teams and how the players performed last season in the championship. And finally, we're going to introduce a little game that we're going to be playing throughout the season here called Kings and Peasants. And yeah, that'll be the pod. You guys keen?
Very.
Definitely. Let's get in.
Let's go.
Let's get in.
Let's get into it.
Now, we're a bit all over the place here. I wasn't alphabetical in any way. There was no organization about which team we talk about first. But for some reason, Crystal Palace is the first team on the list here.
We're just getting the shit
We're going to talk about.
Is that what's happening?
Look,
Yeah, I guess so.
we'll talk for a little bit. But there was something a bit interesting here. I don't know if you guys saw this, but Zaha playing up front.
Yeah, interesting, isn't it?
Crazy.
I wonder if that's going to continue for the whole season.
Mate, it doesn't seem like a bad place for him. 3 goals, 2 assists.
Well, interesting with that new guy coming in.
Easy.
Yeah, I think he's a wider player.
Yeah.
So that might fill that with Townsend being able to play on the other.
Maybe.
Playing Zaha's centre because Roy likes his 4-4-2, I think.
And Zaha always wanted to play that number 9 spot for a long time.
He kind of drifts that way anyway, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. And, when he was at United, I think, he really wanted to build himself into that number 9 role. Yeah. And they gave him a little bit of a run throughout the preseason, but, it just didn't really work out for him at United.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so common, though. It's so common for wingers and players that play on the wing to say they want to be a number 9 or whatever, but never get the chance. It doesn't matter what their rep is at the club. Even Theo Walcott. Remember him for years wanting to play as, or he just wanted to play as a striker, but they never let him do it. They let him play it once, and for a time they had no one that filled that role. They didn't even give Walcott a chance.
That's it. And so when we're talking about Zaha with draft, what are you guys thinking? Is he kind of like a 3rd or 4th round draft pick?
Oh yeah, I think if he's playing up front, he's got to go pretty soon. I think he'd be gone in the 3rd round.
In the 3rd?
I think so. No earlier than that. But I just don't know. What's the chat with him at the moment about moving? Is he staying?
Well, last year he signed another 5-year deal, and that was basically because he's a Palace boy at heart, and he thought, he's going to do the right thing by the club. His contract was running out, and it was looking like he could pretty much go somewhere on the free. So he re-signed to try and get the club a good amount of money. That's what the rumours are down at Palace.
Interesting.
But that's almost fucked him though, because now the only money they're going to accept is 60 mil plus, and no one's paying that.
No one's paying that. But
especially right now.
Yeah.
They would have paid it if he was an English player, but because he signed with Ivory Coast, because England kind of, I don't know exactly what happened there, but they kind of screwed him over a little bit, and he was a bit filthy with them. So he actually made his allegiance to the Ivory Coast. And you know how valuable it is having an English person on your roster.
Well, there's rules, aren't there?
There's rules
for that.
Yeah.
You've got to have a minimum amount of English players.
Definitely.
So, 60 million for a Zaha, if he was classified an English player, would have been a snap. But, it's a bit harder, that price tag on him.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with that. So it looks like he'll probably stay, is the vibe.
I think so, definitely for this season.
I don't think he'll go super high in draft, to be honest. He's kind of consistent. He's up there, but I think there's some new exciting additions to the league that will bump him
down to 4th or 5th.
And I don't know. It's kind of reflected in the draft ranking from the website. People who are playing.
What have they got him at?
They got him at number 40.
40. Okay, so say if you were playing in a 8-man league, that's pretty much around 5th or 4th or 5th.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
Yeah, I think it's definitely 4 and onwards. It's kind of depending how your league plays out, but you might have less numbers in your league, so
and you never know.
Might be late on for you.
AU might continue up top, and it could just be a preseason thing that Roy's doing. just to get a
I
bit
know.
of form for Zaha because, you know, he didn't have the greatest season last year.
Yeah.
He burnt me pretty hard, I have to say. But I won't give up on him. If he's available at an appropriate time in our draft tomorrow, I would consider picking him up.
Okay. So I really that's all of the players that have performed for Palace in preseason. It was Zaha and Ayew. So I guess we'll move on now and start going into Arsenal in my mystical way of organising all of this. Aubameyang.
Yeah.
Aubameyang obviously is going to go in the first 5 picks of any draft.
But he's carried the form. Like, once he scored.
100%.
He scored
Yeah,
a lot
look,
of
it was
goals.
really
I think
strong.
He scored like 4
Community
goals.
Shield against us, Liverpool. And I think he's scored in their other game, whatever that was. So,
And
he's taken up that real talisman of the team and buying into the project, it seems. So,
that's it. And with him classified as a midfielder this year, I think we calculated he would have got about 26 or 28 extra points, which would have pretty much put him up at, the top fantasy.
spot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and that's not even including the clean sheet points that they kind of get.
Yeah.
The midfields get, those.
not that Arsenal are keeping many of them.
Not many of those.
Yeah, he would have got
But
at
it's
least
a couple
point
of extra
per goal,
points too.
point per goal, and a couple more
Couple
points.
of cleanies. So
I think he got like 20 goals or something.
Yeah.
2 goals.
and then it was about 6 or 8 clean sheets or something. So
Yeah.
he's looking fire, and
Yeah, well, we won't
Not
spend too much
surprising.
time on there because, that's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Saka, he's got 2 assists in preseason.
yeah,
Arsenal haven't played a lot of preseason games, but
no one really has.
yeah,
but-
that's the weird thing, isn't it?
So it's hard to gauge it on form at the moment, boys. But look, I actually had Saka a few times throughout last season. It was just someone that I thought was, he was available, and in draft you've always got to be looking for the next person in form that's available, and he was always there or thereabouts, playing, and I might have picked up an assist or a goal here and there. So
yeah. He can only improve, really.
Yeah.
And if they start to play him more, could go anywhere from there, really.
what do you guys reckon about Willian? How do you reckon he's going to perform?
Mate, I think he's going to be a filler to that squad, I think. Like, he'll get some games.
You don't think it'd be nailed on?
No, I don't think so. I don't know.
Who else have they
No,
got,
I think
though?
for me, it's a bit. It could be one way or the other. Like he could come in and just play high 20 games, like 30 something games in the season.
But even when
because
he
they
does
know
that
he's
at
not
Chelsea,
got long left, he'll be there.
But when he does that at Chelsea, he doesn't score many points. Like, honestly, I don't. He'll play,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't be picking him up.
It'd be
I'm not
like
going
late,
near him.
last mid
But
potentially.
yeah, so say if he's available in round 6, you wouldn't consider him? Like, remember what
Yeah.
happened last year when no one picked up Mahrez, and I picked him up in the 8th or 9th round, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that was a bit crazy. I don't know how we let
You
that
know,
slip through.
That's the only
But-
reason I was contending for the first.
But there was
I'm glad you said it because
20 game weeks.
that was the next words out of my mouth.
there's a big difference though between Mahrez and Willian, I think though. So
Yeah.
I think it'd be someone
Yeah.
like if you got a large league and you're filling out the rest of your mids. Once you get down to your last mids,
Yeah.
you're kind of picking from the dregs. So you either take a punt on a player who's new or something like that, or you just have a go at someone like
Someone
Willian.
solid. And look, I see your point, but I do disagree. I think that he could be, your third mid.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
interesting.
Well, Miles has skipped
We'll see
ahead
what
there.
happens. Well, I know who Miles
technically
picking now, so
that's technically in the news signing section of our podcast. Miles is skipping ahead.
God, just ruin the
God,
format.
all of our content for later is just wasted now.
We'll just skip over Arsenal completely.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
I was
that'll
trying
be
to get
good.
it out of the way.
Yeah,
That's what he was
look,
trying to do.
yeah.
I see what you're doing. I see
Fine,
what you're
fine.
doing. Trying to get rid of him.
So next one, Burnley, Heato. What have you heard?
Yeah, well, Burnley obviously not too much going on in change of teams. We'll obviously dive into that as we said next. But in terms of form, obviously Wood's always a good shout there. He's looking good.
He's got a couple of goals.
He was doing really well towards the back end of last season, so
Yeah.
he's kind of carrying that on, and
Yeah, and it's
Um,
such a little break for them.
Yeah.
That's just straight into it.
Our buddies from across the sea, the New Zealanders,
The
the
Kiwis.
Kiwis. He's from
Oh yeah,
Zealand,
yeah,
so-
yeah. He's a Kiwi.
yeah. So I know. Yeah, he's looking good. What about you guys? Do you think?
Well, they've got a few wins under the belt, which it means that they're kind of carrying on a bit of that form. Like I
Mhm.
think it was, I'd have to look it up, but I think they've won 3 or 4 games.
Yeah.
So, Burnley, you might be able to fill out your squad a little bit with some of their players. Like Wood will definitely factor in as a striker.
Yeah,
But
100%.
There's not
yeah.
much more to talk about with Burnley there.
No, yeah, just a couple of goals preseason, and he's really your main
Yeah,
name you want to be checking in on for sure.
100%.
One note before we leave Burnley, I do want to mention J Rodriguez. I'm actually
It's a good
going to
shout.
tout him for a decent season.
Yeah,
Not
me
an
too.
amazing,
Nah,
but I'm thinking,
third striker.
yeah, definitely third striker option, boys, because,
You
we
should
got,
see where he's in my draft.
yeah, I could
Order.
imagine, being, the league leader / ex-champion you are.
Thank you, ex-champion. I prefer champ,
Champ.
but
Not anymore, mate.
But, with Ashley Barnes being out, I'm not sure when he's actually going to be coming back. I'm thinking J-Rod could,
Yeah.
yeah,
could
it
have
could
a
be an early
season.
shout.
Yeah.
I like
definitely.
it. I
And
like
he finished strong, so
He did have good form.
yeah.
So Miles, we'll throw to you for the next team because I feel like maybe you might be a bit of an expert on these guys. Maybe not as much as me, but
Probably not.
Chelsea. Now,
Oh, you're not throwing to me?
here's an
Oh, come
interesting
on,
one.
rude.
No, Thomas, you don't know anything. Miles.
Yeah.
Now, there's not been a lot of preseason for Chelsea. I think it's really only been one game against Brighton.
Mm.
What's been going on?
Look, I'm so excited to see how our team kind of lines up and performs, especially for the first 10 fixtures. I'm expecting a really, really strong start, and I want to
Okay.
see how the new boys blend in with a couple of the old / new players.
Yeah. There's going to be a lot of fact finding really early on for people. Because I think the thing is, all those Chelsea players are going to go. Like, there's too many big names there that they won't get picked up.
Mm.
It's just a matter of how early people go for them and whether they're going to get burnt by new players coming into the league, which always happens.
Always happens.
So in the preseason, have they been playing a lot of the new guys?
Well, a lot of
Like
them hadn't
together?
even come.
yeah, so
Like
obviously
Ziyech was there.
Kai
Werner?
Havertz only just got
Yeah.
signed, so he hasn't even played a game.
Well, Werner's got the only goal of preseason, which, there's only one game. It was
Yeah.
a 1-1 draw with Brighton.
And I mean, he scored after 6-8 minutes or something.
Yeah.
I was pretty pumped when I just had a bit of a notification pop up on my phone.
Yeah.
I was just like, whoa, I didn't even know we were playing, and my new boy's just scoring already.
I know.
6 minutes into the game. Like, let's go.
I love it. They're frothing on him in the budget version of fantasy.
They are.
Because of his price.
Mm.
He basically helps a lot of them fill out teams, really, because
Yeah.
he's just got so much potential.
He does.
Like they reckon he's I think he's 9.5 mil on
He is, yeah.
that format, and they reckon that if he performs the way his numbers are from last season, he'll be worth 11 easily.
the
Yeah.
season after, yeah.
Or even in this season, they'll
Oh.
raise it up.
Go up 2 whole points. That's huge.
Yeah. What did I say? 9.5, 11, 1.5.
1.5. That's a lot.
Yeah, but if he gets, that's what I think. What they were saying is, if someone hauls as many goals as he got, which was 28 goals
Yeah.
last season. But sorry, this is more new signings talk. But
It's all right.
I think if he scores that many goals and gets as many assists as he got, he's basically in the category where he should probably go up to as high as 11.
Wow. That's huge.
Oh,
That's
wait.
That's a
guys.
huge
I'm just going to call it there. We're talking about the other type of fantasy. Like,
Yeah.
come on.
Let's
Bring it back to draft. Bring it back
Whoops.
to draft. Let me lure you back in.
Hey,
Let me
no.
throw a fishing line.
What do you normally say about that draft? Boring.
So another person I wanted to talk about with Chelsea was Ziyech. I mean, I know he got a bit of a knee injury.
Yeah. Is that something to be concerned about for us as players out there?
It doesn't look serious. So I'm expecting him to miss the first couple of games.
Has your contact on the sideline down at Chelsea let you
Yeah.
know all that info?
Yeah, yeah.
Is that Eva?
No, Roman called me
Oh,
direct.
Roman.
Yeah.
Oh, I miss Eva.
Oh, Eva. And look, going back to someone who's played for us last season, I'm expecting a huge season from Mason Mount.
I'm interested to see where he fits into the squad, especially with them spending so much on Kai Havertz.
Mm. I still think that he finds a spot.
Yeah. I don't
I
know.
guess
We've got
a
a
big
lot
thing-
of wingers,
yeah.
a lot of things. I think he'll get it plenty of game time. I just think there's going to be a lot of rotation in Chelsea.
But I don't really see Mason as a winger. I see him, you know, more of, but in the hole
Like
type
center
player.
attacking mid. Kind
Yeah,
of.
like
where
what
does
Mata
Havertz
used
fit?
to be.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly where he was always at his best.
That's what I want to see. I don't know what formation that Lamps is planning on playing with all of these players.
It feels like a 4-2-3-1.
The big shout I
Maybe.
think is if he wants two controlling mids.
Mm.
So does he want a Jorginho and a Kante, or can he deal with just a Kante and then having Mount and Havertz
Mm.
Oh,
in front?
Heato, that's pretty
Ziyech
spicy.
but like that's like no control in midfield.
Yeah, but
Like-
N'Golo is all you need.
Yeah, but hopefully he still is with us.
And
I
he's
mean,
not injured. Like he's been so injured lately.
Yeah.
We'll see. And lastly, on Chelsea, I think we've just got to mention Thiago. I think that's a huge signing for us.
Did he play in the preseason game?
No, he came on off the bench
Okay.
just for briefly, but look, I think he still starts this game, being a defender.
Yeah. That makes sense.
All right, well, let's go back to preseason because I think we're skipping a bit into new signings here. We'll just try and stay on the preseason track. So next game or next
Mm.
team would be Everton, I think, to talk about. Siggy.
Siggy.
Siggy. I'm scared of it by him because he was kind of, I don't know who he burnt, but he burnt
Yeah.
someone last season because he was pretty average.
Yeah. I think that will be a big discussion when we come onto new signings and how that impacts him.
Yeah.
But, if he's looking at form, you're kind of like,
2 goals and an assist.
He's obviously
already.
putting his hand up to Carlo, being like,
Sure.
I'm still here.
Yeah.
Look
And
at me.
Maybe it was just that one
Look at me.
season.
Look at me.
First season in a new team. He doesn't know what the players are doing as much because, with his previous team, like he just knew what everyone was doing, and obviously he was pretty like a free kick wizard, and he just didn't have as many opportunities as he did.
Well, you don't always have a blazing season. Everton were pretty average that whole season. So, he could definitely be just as good as he has been to us fantasy players in previous seasons. You can't really write him off for one bad season.
Totally.
And then another interesting one here is Calvert-Lewin with
Yeah.
2 goals and an assist.
I'm expecting him to start strong. He had a really bad post-COVID run of form because he was the in-form striker pretty much pre-COVID.
Yeah, he was.
He was killing it.
Didn't he blank every week after?
After, yeah.
Yeah, he didn't.
Yeah, every week. So just hopefully he comes back. Look, he's got a couple goals there and assists. So who knows? I guess, is there anyone going to be challenging him for that spot? I mean, we'll talk about that when we get to the new signings. I don't think they've really signed any replacements as a striker. So he could be pretty nailed on yet again.
Yeah, I think so. I think he'll be probably up top with Richarlison.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so moving on to Leicester. I mean, it's not really much to talk about there.
No, I don't think they've scored a goal.
No, they haven't been in great form.
Mm.
There's that's kind of continue on from a pretty average back end of last season. They've just lost Ben Chilwell.
Yeah, they fucking bottled it, didn't they?
They they really did, and I'm kind of glad they did because Chelsea are where they are right now.
I feel bad for them though, because it would have been cool seeing a new guy.
Have they lost anyone else other than Chilwell?
No,
No, I
no,
don't think
they're
so.
pretty.
They're pretty
They
whole.
held on to everyone else pretty much, I believe.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I still, even though Chilwell went, I still expect them to be quite strong defensively.
Mm.
Schmeichel's obviously a great keeper. And,
Schmeichel.
their centre backs are just
Pure
killer.
red.
So you guys can definitely consider stacking up a little bit on Leicester defence. Like, get one in your team for sure.
Yeah. Well, Perez, I think not Perez. Pereira. Sorry, Pereira.
Yeah, he's a beast.
He is a beast, but he spent a lot of last season injured, and he's still injured now. But he is due back. I think I saw it was the 1st of October.
Mm.
So not long. You wouldn't have to go too long.
And he's
But I think it was a big injury though, so that's always a question mark.
you
isn't
got
it?
to
definitely. But
Especially,
he still scored 123 points, even though he was injured for a bunch.
yeah, I know. I
So
had him. It was amazing.
that's-
He was like on a ridiculous run at
Yeah.
the start of the
I
season.
was so happy you didn't have him towards the end of the
Yeah,
season.
Oh my
You-
god! It was just like every week I'm like, oh, assists, goals,
Yeah,
clean
great
sheets.
attacking credentials, and
Awesome.
Johnny Evans, does hold the fort down pretty well. So, we'll see how they go. But I wouldn't write off, players like, Perez and Madison in the midfield. If they're available and in, your fourth
Yeah,
or your
exactly.
fifth round, you got to pick them up because they're going to get their goals and, they will, or they hopefully might.
Yeah,
might
hopefully
come quickly.
new season, fresh start,
Yeah, definitely.
wipe the slate clean.
And obviously, Vardy, you'd be stupid not to pick him
Nah.
up if he's available
Always
kind of
having a party.
late in round one or maybe the start of round two.
Yeah.
He's just,
Doesn't matter what the team's doing. Vardy's always
He's always
banging
having
in
a
goals.
party.
I know.
Should we
There's
jump-
going to be 1 year where we're going to be like, okay, yeah, Vardy's done. Like, it'll just like, oh, okay.
3 goals.
The Vardy party's over.
The bouncers have come in and kicked everyone out.
Yeah. They ran out of Red Bull.
So, Heato,
Should talk about my boys.
what's happening with Liverpool?
Yeah, we've actually had quite a few preseason games. So we've had a couple. We've obviously had the Community Shield
It's
as
kind
well.
of cheating, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't know. Is it? I don't know. Not much of
definitely
not
cheating.
much of a holiday, but
Definitely cheating.
yeah, it's been interesting. We've not really looked too amazing. Just recently, we had a friendly with Blackpool.
How'd that go?
We were 2-0 down just before half time,
Mhm.
and then pulled it back, and we ended up winning like 7-2 or something. Like,
wow.
so like, we
I
went
saw that.
ran right in the second half, but we struggled a little bit. Like the likes of Salah hasn't scored
Mhm.
all preseason.
How many minutes
the
did he
goals-
play?
He's playing a lot of. He's played most of. They've kind of done like they really ramped it up. So they did like half and half different teams early on,
yeah.
and then it was like 60 minutes for the next game, and then it was like Community Shield mostly 60 minutes again, and then this one similar.
Okay.
The goals came from weird places, though, didn't they?
Yeah,
Like,
so
there's a
we've
lot
had-
of goals from.
Yeah, so we've had youngster Brewster scoring a couple,
Yeah.
but he's either going to be
Does he
sold or
stay?
loaned.
Yeah, right.
So not really. Don't look at him for fantasy, really. He might stay if there's no good deal out there, but I can't see him playing too many minutes.
Yeah.
Curtis Jones is going to be interesting this year. Now that Lana's gone, and if we don't sign Thiago, he will fill that midfield option.
Okay.
So he might get some minutes, but it depends on form. If he comes into form, just keep an eye on.
Okay.
He's been good in preseason. Minamino's looked really good.
Yeah, Minamino's got
Taki.
a couple.
Um,
I really liked watching him play at the end of last season.
He
when
seems
he
to
came
have
in.
like gotten that kind of vibe back from when he was playing at Salzburg.
Yeah.
So he's looking real good. Yet again, though, can't guarantee how often he's going to play, where he's going to play. So it's just kind of like keep your
Bit
eye
of
on.
a rotation
But,
player
yeah.
potentially.
But yeah, like we got some goals, but been kind of hit and miss. But the same thing though, I was panicking a bit, to be honest. Like we haven't played too amazing. We haven't smashed teams away. But I think last preseason, I think we lost every game in preseason, but we won the league. So I think that sums up preseason for you.
Yeah, preseason.
It doesn't necessarily mean shit. So
Yeah, I
um,
think preseason just kind of highlights some players sometimes.
yeah, to keep an eye on.
But this
Yeah.
is such a weird preseason.
It's even weirder, exactly. So
Like,
yeah,
I can
that's-
barely find some of my search results for even just looking up Manchester City's preseason. It's just like nothing there.
Yeah, I
Like,
don't know.
did
if
they
they've
play
played or
any
not.
preseason games?
Well, they played pretty late with Champions League, so I don't know if they've actually
That was their
had much
preseason
time.
Champions League.
properly.
Seriously, because
But with there though, like everyone knows the big names, the big hitters.
Yeah.
Unless there's some crazy change of someone getting minutes that you wouldn't expect them to. I think that's pretty nailed on there anyway, regardless of preseason, don't you reckon?
For sure. I mean, obviously De Bruyne, first round draft pick, is pretty much nailed on. And, Sterling is not far behind him. Aguero's got to still be up somewhere. I mean, late round one.
Yeah. He's going in your first probably like 10 picks.
Yeah. But, it's going to be shared a bit more with Jesus, I think. he's getting a bit older, and as we saw,
We say this every season, don't we? We're like, he gets injured every season and he still pulls out a good chunk of goals for you. But TBC on them. And I guess it's similar to Man U as well. But they had like a.
Have they played any preseason either? I'm looking them all up now. That's why I've gone 0 dark 30 over here.
No, I haven't seen much information, to be honest. All I've been following lately is the internationals that we've just been having, and some of the boys like Rashford and the like.
Yeah, I just don't think they're getting played, really, the preseason stuff. Even Wolves, I can't see.
Yeah, some teams just aren't.
Because they were in the Europa League quarterfinal. Like that Sevilla was their last
basically Europa League
game
owners.
Yeah.
They own the trophy.
Yeah, pretty much.
They rent it to other people.
Yeah, exactly. So I can't see any preseason from any of those guys. So there's not a lot to learn from some of these preseason.
No, exactly. And it's gonna be really interesting from game one. And then I guess we kind of smash out some of the other teams. Like obviously Newcastle have had a little bit of preseason. Carroll with a few goals, but they've just made some great signings, which we'll talk about soon. So you can ignore that form.
Yeah, exactly.
Sheffield as well.
Yeah, Sheffield. They've had some decent form. 1-3, drawn 1. Sharp with 3 goals and 1 assist.
That's it.
Maybe someone to keep an eye on.
That's interesting for sure because they don't score a lot of goals really. So
No, but they definitely keep a lot of clean sheets. They're very structured in their formation, so definitely worth getting a Sheffield defender.
Oh yeah, they're always really strong, and they've made some additions there too, which we can talk about.
So there's a couple more teams here to talk about, and there is a bit to talk about with some of them. Southampton, Ings continuing form, 2 goals, 1 assist. Redmond has 1 goal, 2 assists. Bertrand has 1 goal, 2 assists. Ward-Prowse has 2 goals. There's a lot of goals there.
Yeah.
That's,
and they were playing really well at the end of the season.
They might carry their form straight through.
Yeah.
And, you could see Ings.
I think they could be a surprise team this year. I think they could be
definitely
kind of.
It seems like they really know what they're doing now. They didn't know exactly who they were, and they just know what they're doing.
Yeah. And look, their team hasn't changed much. I think there was a couple of players that have moved, but they should be able to hold it together and keep what they had going. So.
Yeah, and just as you said, Redmond and Ward-Prowse, I'm expecting them to be quite high up in the midfielder table. Either one of them. I think one of them's going to catch fire.
Okay, interesting.
Catch fire.
Fire!
And so Tottenham would probably be the next thing to talk about. They've been in some pretty decent form.
Yeah.
And one particular player shining for them, Son, 4 goals.
He's killing it.
2 assists.
Yeah, interesting with him though is that he's been playing up front.
Yeah, I saw that.
Because Kane has been out. So that's obviously he scores goals anyway because he plays pretty forward. But he's been even more advanced than normal. So that's
in what I've kind of read and looked at, they've said that Son tends to not benefit as much from Mourinho's kind of style, and that he has not been nearly as prolific on the wing where he normally plays. He's kind of getting a bit lost out there, not really cutting in and not creating those central threats.
Sure.
So when he's played as a striker, he's been brilliant, but when he's on the wing, he's not as good. So I don't know.
Because he has to track back a bit more?
Maybe. Yeah. Maybe. I don't know.
I play so...
Must just...
Yeah, if you don't track back on a Mourinho team, you're cut. So...
But Son does love, he is willing to get forward. So even if he's had to do defensive duties, you guarantee him and Kane are going to be pumping their legs to
definitely.
Get up
there.
Well,
we all know how much Heato loves.
I do.
Watching Kane run.
He's a beast, man. I've come so much appreciation for him in the last little bit. I was a bit slow to the uptake, but...
And just
you're there now. You're there.
A bit of a man crush.
Just a quick shout out to our next potential sponsor. Have you guys seen the Tottenham doco on Amazon Prime yet?
Oh no, I haven't watched it.
I'm actually about to start it. I've seen some clips and I'm excited to watch it.
Is it good?
You'll love it.
Yeah,
it is so good.
Yeah. Really?
Awesome. I saw the clip today where Danny Rose has a convo with Mourinho about being played. I was a bit annoyed though because the tag of the video was like like all caps, and it's like Mourinho rages. And I've watched it. I'm like, they were both pretty pleasant with each other.
Yeah, you just
Like,
got clickbait.
Yeah, I got mad clickbaited. I was so annoyed. But yeah, it looks exciting.
Does look exciting. So, I mean, rest of that summary of that preseason is Ali's got a goal, 2 assists.
Bergwijn.
He could do okay. It just depends where Mourinho plays him.
Yeah.
If Ali tends to have his best seasons when he gets played in that kind of center attacking mid role in terms of scoring, that's definitely when he's been at his best.
And he's pretty much on season, off season. And he was kind of off last year. So I was talking to my flatmate about this, and we're actually thinking maybe Ali might come through with a season.
That's interesting. I mean, he did spend a fair bit of the beginning of the season injured.
Yeah.
He came back. I had him. So he came back and he had a little bit of form and then nothing after COVID.
Generally.
Yeah.
So. Well, they had a lot of injuries, remember?
True.
Everyone was out pretty much.
They were pretty fucked, weren't they?
Yeah.
So the only other real thing of note from preseason that I can see is West Ham.
What about Bowen?
Yeah, Bowen.
4
Who is
goals.
Bowen?
To be honest, he was looking spicy towards the end of last season.
I didn't even know who he was.
He was on my watch list. He was like the assist or the pass before the assist a lot.
And now he's got
looking really
4 goals. 4 goals and 1 assist in preseason.
He was looking real good, and definitely would keep an eye on him for sure. I think
one to watch.
A pick.
Definitely.
Although I have my doubts about West Ham this year. I'm not.
Yeah.
I've just got a feeling they
just this year.
Crumble.
I have doubts about him every year.
I thought that they were going to go down.
I think they could. I've got worries about them this year. Like that club is. Did you see the way Mark Noble reacted to them selling that youngster?
No, I didn't.
They sold a youngster to West Brom who was on loan last year, and he tweeted, and he's like so sad and angry to see this player go, like on like social media, like basically calling out like, why the fuck did we sell him?
Public.
Oh wow.
So.
And Mark Noble, I mean,
he's the captain. He's like, I'm the captain, and I'm so angry and sad to see this transfer.
Not good.
So, but like, although looking at like preseason though, like West Ham looked okay, like getting a few goals. Antonio, Souček is carried on from last season, nipping him, into the box and getting a couple.
He was good, and they've probably signed him as well, which we're going to talk about. But he was online now; he's signed, so he could, do a really good job there.
I feel torn. I'm like, they're doing well. They look all right. But I just feel like they could just break and do nothing.
Do you reckon Antonio's your third striker or your second?
He could be a second because depending where you go and if you prioritize
mids,
and if you're maybe late or the way you swing back from the snake,
Yeah.
He might have to be a second. Like by then, there might be no one better.
Mm.
But it depends how early you go forwards, I guess.
Yeah, I think he's a good option.
He's a second. I think he'll probably go, I don't know.
In the 5th round somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty deep. No one's jumping on him. But
no, but I think like
he can fill out a squad.
Yeah. I think, yeah. It was interesting. Like today I was starting to do like a bit of a mock draft to see like where it would go. And we've drafted our pick of where we're coming in the league.
Who did you end up getting? In what, you're 6, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm 6.
So who do you think that you'll be picking in 6th?
Let me just pull it up. I feel like I might be getting
Let him just pull
Vardy or Kane.
Or you think Kane will go to 6?
Maybe.
Come on, you're dreaming.
Yeah.
You got to be dreaming.
Yeah.
Hackett's in first. He's picking up Kane.
I don't know, man.
De Bruyne. He'll pick up De Bruyne for sure.
Yeah.
Who's second? Who's second?
I'm second.
You're second, so that'll be Salah probably.
Pretty much. Like I'd be silly not to. I'm thinking.
Yeah,
but
it's a hard choice between KDB and Salah for first pick for me.
Yeah,
and then third is
Tim's third in our league.
That could be anything. There goes Werner.
He could potentially go Werner, but then I'm also.
I don't think he will.
I basically played it out as I reckon for our first 7 in our league. I think it's going. We talked about this last week a bit, but now I've had a bit more time to think about it.
I kind of got caught off guard there last week.
Customize it to like our league as well. So this will be different for everyone, but I think we're going to see KDB, Salah, Mane, Sterling, Alba, Vardy, Kane.
Okay.
I think that's how it's going.
Silence.
No,
you said it too quick. I'm like, I'm trying to keep up.
Processing it.
Yeah,
okay,
process that.
Can you say it again slower?
Do you want to know who I picked for you guys?
Well, you picked Salah for me.
Salah for you. Whitey, you ended up with Sterling. Your boy again. Your boy again.
To be honest, I'd be tempted to go Fernandez over Sterling just to mix it up.
Yeah.
I know that sounds stupid, but you know,
Yeah. No, exactly.
it's just better.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, do you guys want, now that we're starting to talk about a bit more about players, do we want to combine that with some of the new guys? We'll quickly fly through some.
Yeah.
Well, the new signings for each
some
club.
new
Let's kind of go
signings.
through any of the major ones. So we've already kind of talked about Arsenal's Willian. They've now locked in the transfer of Ceballos, but
Yeah.
you know that's neither here nor there in a fantasy sense.
I think
He doesn't have a lot.
I think he's just one to watch because
He's kind of the pass before the assist sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to think like in that Arsenal team, who is the playmaker? You know, and I was thinking, you know, they used to have Ozil, and you know he was bang on,
Yeah.
but you know who is it now?
I guess it's this guy.
Yeah, well, it was supposed to be at like last
feel like
season.
It's shared. I feel like it's really shared. Like the likes of Saka chipping in with a couple of assists here and there, like 5 or so from last season.
But who's
like,
controlling it in the middle?
No one. No
That's
one.
the thing.
No one.
There's no one pulling any strings in that team.
Who should be potentially though is Granit Xhaka. Did you see his attempted pass during
No.
internationals?
I saw it.
The
was
shot ended up
filth.
getting missed, but
Yeah.
it basically came flying to him in the air, quite loopy, and he just like hacks at it with the outside of his left foot like a karate kick, and it just goes curling to the far wing,
Wow.
bounces in front of the winger, who then crosses it, and the striker doesn't get a shot on.
Mm.
But like if that scored, people would have lost their fucking minds. Like
You heard it here
I
first.
nearly lost my mind watching the pass. I don't know how someone would do that.
All right. Well, I mean, let's not focus on them for too long. You know, Aston Villa, nothing really to talk about there in terms of signings. Nothing super exciting. You know, maybe some to watch, but Brighton have got Lallana.
Yeah.
When I saw that, I was like, huh?
Yeah.
I think
What do you think about that, Heato?
I think it's a massive
I
signing
think
for them.
he's been quite injury prone.
Mm.
So if he can stay fit, I think he can really like tie that team together and be some creative.
So
Force.
from a fantasy perspective, do you think he can get the points?
I think so, yeah. I think a lot of stuff will come through him.
For sure. Remember
And-
when he was at Southampton?
Even when like we first had him when Klopp came, he was just like
Yeah.
the heart of that team.
Mm.
And I think because that experience and they've got potential in their strikers there with that Connolly guy and Malpay,
Mm.
and they just don't score enough goals. I think if he can turn it on and pick up some of that old creativity
Bit
he
of
had,
flair, yeah.
I think it's a potential.
Brighton
would
have
be
lost
putting
some
him in.
creativity, though. Aaron Moy.
Yeah, and Moy going to China.
I know, I was bummed about that.
I mean, look, money.
Yeah, money. I was a bummer though, because he's been pretty good for them. I think he's been fun
Yeah.
to watch as an
Yeah,
Australian.
definitely.
You know, like it's nice to see.
But, you
Yeah,
know, maybe
an
a
Aussie
bit closer
player
to
in that
home as
position.
well.
Yeah,
know.
true.
And just duck home on the weekend.
Closer to the center of the outbreak.
because he can afford that now on his China Super League money.
Yeah.
No coronavirus restrictions there, are there?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we can Skype in the same time zone, or pretty much.
Yeah.
Like only a few hours apart. But yeah, I think that's exciting for sure. For
Well,
Brighton.
I mean, we've kind of gone over a couple of things with these guys, but you know, we'll quickly talk about Chelsea because they're obviously the biggest.
Yeah.
Money spenders.
Well, let's talk
money
about the most recent guy because we haven't spoken about him too much. Havertz.
Man, have you seen his stats?
He. Do you know I didn't realize this. He's 6'2".
He's massive.
He's a fucking beast.
and he's very,
Is
very
he that
quick.
big?
Yeah, he's 6'2".
He's huge and he's very fast.
Yeah.
Is he?
There's
Yeah.
chat that
I'm excited.
he'll be like a future centre forward.
Yeah.
They reckon he'll.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's potential for him to grow and become that centre forward.
And I saw like his highlight reel. It's a bit scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, watch his goals from last year. I'm like, am I watching a forward? Like he was just getting headers. He was.
Why
pumping
haven't I
into the
watched
box.
this?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll
Why
send
haven't
it.
I watched
Yeah,
this?
I'll
I'm
send it
surprised
to
you
you,
haven't
like-
put that in your
Oh my
spank
God.
bank, mate.
Yeah.
Some of the
Jeez.
headers are just like ferocious.
Because like he's not got a crazy amount of goals or assists here. Like, well, from what I can see, it's 12 goals, 6 assists.
Mm.
Yeah.
But
I think that
he's
was
21.
I think that was Bundesliga only.
That's that's just the Bundesliga.
Yeah, just league.
Yeah. So I mean, that's not too bad just for the position he plays.
Mm.
Yeah, like that's like a strong.
Yeah, they're good numbers,
Yeah, strong.
but they could
numbers.
take a dip. in the Prem.
Yeah,
and
they
he also
definitely
could
could.
face a bit of rotation with Mount, who is kind of a proven entity.
Yeah, it's a big question mark for me over him. It's like he looks really exciting, but I just don't know what Chelsea's going to do and how someone's going to put. We're going to obviously pull the trigger on him. He's going like early-ish,
Yeah,
but it's how early does someone pull the trigger on him? That's my big question.
I'm kind of thinking round 3, round 4, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You trust the like experience, previous stats of players over.
Yeah, I think you want to like lock in like 2 really solid players, and then depending on where you are in the snake, maybe picking up. If you're early in the snake coming back after your second pick, you could probably go with a bit more experience.
Yeah,
but the people late in that 3rd round, I mean,
it's surprising how quick the players disappear. Hey,
yeah,
like doing that mock draft for myself, I just spoke about before. You suddenly like, oh fuck, and this happens every year. You're like, we're only on the 3rd or 4th round, and I'm like, there's no one good left. Like,
Yeah, I know.
Like it's surprising how
I feel like there's a bit more out there
goes.
this year for some reason.
Yeah, it's a bit
than
more
usual.
depth.
Not a lot more, but a bit.
yeah.
that's
But the
why.
thing with Havertz for me is you don't break the club record spending for someone who's
I'd
not
not
going to
blame him.
start.
Yeah.
Like he's going to play. He's going to play a lot of games.
Yeah, that's the thing that backs him for sure.
He'll get some serious. He'll get it, and if he doesn't perform, he'll get a chance. And as well, Chelsea's opening fixtures are pretty friendly.
It's just the adjustment as well, though, like to new teammates, and especially if you've got the likes of Ziyech, Werner, and Havertz starting. Like that's
Where does
3
everyone
of
else
your
fit
4
in?
main creative people who have never played together.
Even Ziyech, it sounds pretty spicy.
Yeah,
Like,
he's
he had
really good.
18 assists last season and
Yeah.
9 goals.
He's
Yeah.
a beast.
I think there's
Some
potential
creativity
for Chelsea
coming in this team finally.
Serious
Crazy flair
points.
as well.
You got joint. You guys have finally like done what you should have done when you lost Hazard.
But we couldn't.
Yeah, mate, we could.
Yeah, no, but more like, but in terms of like that's what you've needed for a long time, as well as that,
Yeah.
because he was just like you were Hazard FC almost. Like
Yeah.
like without
I'll
him,
cop that. For the last couple of years that he was there, we were. I'll give you that.
I think it was Hazard's fault, really. Like Hazard never.
fucking Hazard.
Look, I respect
Selfish
the
prick.
man, but the thing is, he never did anything that any of the managers that came, past the age of 25 or something. From then on, I don't think he actually executed any of the manager's plans. Mourinho, definitely not.
Yeah, just did what he wanted.
Like he just did what he wants. He's always done what he wants. And then in the later years, it was always running down the side, cutting back, trying to cut in, or just like laying a ball off lazily.
yeah,
Like he's not a great team player. And then you kind of see, like, it was kind of exciting to watch Chelsea last season because they played as a team. It wasn't like, as you say, the Hazard show, which we've watched for fucking years now. It was Chelsea as a team kind of, working more together.
yeah, exactly.
A bit more fluid and direct. And it was really good. It was nice. And now we've got a bunch of direct players. I mean, Pulisic is in there as well.
Yeah, it's potentially spicy with those new boys.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe just quickly, I'm curious to see where you guys think Pulisic will go.
I think he's got to go like pretty much the same as I just said before with Havertz. I think it's pretty much round 3 or round 4.
All those Chelsea boys will be around there.
Yeah.
I think.
And a few people are going to get burnt by Chelsea pickups
Oh yeah.
because they're going to pick them up in round 3 or 4 because someone's going to, everyone's going to want at least one of them, even if it doesn't come true. But we could catch fire because we could be scoring, 4 goals a game.
Yeah.
I'm not even saying that just as, a blindfolded Chelsea fan.
Oh, yes, potential. If it all sinks and every player plays really well.
And it's an attacking team right now. Like you can see it in last season. Our defense was rubbish, but we scored plenty of goals.
Yeah.
It's the only reason we're in a lot of those games and where we were.
True, yeah, because our defense was pretty shake. But let's move on from Chelsea because we've pretty much turned this into the Chelsea podcast. So.
I know. Sorry out there, everyone. But it was fair in this situation because there was a lot of
Yeah,
players
no,
signed by Chelsea.
Yeah.
Look, we've already spoken about easy.
I like to max out my Chelsea where I can, but I think that was appropriate. Boys.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll give it
cool.
to you.
Thank
Oh,
you.
thanks.
Thank you.
Heato seal of
Yeah,
approval.
there's lots to consider there. Lots of signings for our draft players out there.
Yeah.
But moving on, to I know we've spoken about easy, and we're just going to glance over it for Crystal Palace's new signing. But I don't think we did the stats. He had 14 goals and 6 assists.
Yeah.
And
Solid numbers.
yeah, he's a great player, and it looks like he's a bit of a new wonder kid for them.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, I think it's just Palace just don't score a lot of goals. Like
But this is what he's there for.
I know, but
And
then
if
it's like,
Zaha's
but
up
who's-
front,
who's passing it to him
And
besides Zaha?
and also he did play for
Milivojevic.
No one else. Can he pass forward?
Milivojevic.
you know, he started at QPR and then he's moved on to Wickham, and you know, like maybe he was just playing in a bit of a
Yeah,
soft.
I think it's someone like maybe your last pick.
So, I mean, Everton's interesting. I mean, Decore's gone there. He kind of gets some points, but he's never too crazy. James Rodriguez, though, now that's interesting.
Can he catch fire again?
He's meeting back up with his boy Carlo.
Well, it's been a while since he was on fire. That's the hard
Very
thing.
Yeah.
long while.
Since World Cup 2016, wasn't
It's
it?
interesting though because they've brought in Alan as well from Napoli.
Oh, that's
so they've
right.
got him, Decoure, and James.
Beefed
Like,
up
where
that midfield.
does their like it's literally doubled their midfield? Where does Siggy and what's his name, Gomez,
Yeah.
Andre Gomez, and whoever the other because Carlo does he? I think he
It's
still
just
likes
some-
his 4-4-2 a little bit
Yeah.
style. Like I don't know how he's fitting these players in. I think
And
they've-
Richarlison,
yeah,
Walcott,
yeah.
all these people.
Yeah, exactly. Like you can only if he's playing 4-4-2, you can only fit two in the middle.
Mm.
But I think there'll be ones to consider, but not pulling too early. They're a bit of a punt, like towards the back end of your mid picks. That
Yeah, I'd agree
you'd
with
be
that.
like, I'm going to fill it out. Hopefully, they might turn into something. But I don't think anyone's going to be like, oh fuck yes, I'm jumping on James early because there's just not the stats to prove it. Back it up.
Yeah, I completely
So-
agree with that. Okay, moving on. We'll just pick out some of the star kind of signings from here on.
Mm.
Rodrigo for Leeds.
Yeah.
He doesn't-
Everyone's touting them to have a big season, by the way.
they're talking about this guy though, like he's pretty spicy, but his stats from last season were like, yeah,
Not amazing.
like 4 goals.
What do
7
you expect
assists.
from a promoted team signing?
I guess so, but still, I don't know. There was a lot of
Yeah.
chat about this guy. Anyway, but he's definitely going to be one to consider. He'll probably be one of those third forward picks.
Yeah.
And then they signed another forward called Elder Costa.
Mm.
They're going to be a bit of competition for that spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. With some of the existing teams too. So existing players, in those teams.
Yeah, 100%.
What do you guys think about Man City? I don't
City,
rate them too much in terms of.
no big signings. Really.
I'm interested to see what this Torres guy does, to be honest.
because again, his
Where does he
stats
fit?
aren't insane.
Is he going to get a lot of game time? Is Aki going to start every week? I mean,
Yeah.
Is he?
I
Maybe
don't know.
potentially.
I mean, he should be because he's pretty solid.
But also, normally you'd be like, oh, they spent big money. Of course they'll play. But then you're like, oh, City, you like to pay a lot for their defenders. So
Yeah.
They love
it
to-
could be a fifth choice and paid 40
I think that
mil
was
for
less.
him, so
40 mil was less than they paid for any of the other ones.
Yeah,
so
I
at this
know.
point, he's at the bottom of the totem
like
pole.
over 200 mil on wing back. So
Yeah.
yeah, I wouldn't be jumping on, but there'd be like late.
Yeah. If you notice that he's starting a lot, and
Yeah.
you want a
you
City
just
defender.
can't dethrone like Mahrez and Sterling in those wide spots. I don't think.
Are we talking about? Oh, you're talking about Ferran
Torres.
Torres. Sorry, I was
Torres.
talking about Nathan Aki.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
sorry.
okay.
Yeah, same as well. But I think
Yeah.
for shouting of like picking them, like Aki's a potential. The others are
Yeah. You got to wait
yeah.
on those.
Yeah.
There's no point messing with what City already do well.
No, exactly.
Man United, Mylo.
Yeah, I mean, Igalo finally signed, which is good for them, I think. Just have a bit of a backup striker.
Yeah, some depth. I mean, they do have. I guess there's a lot of people that they claim can play forward. I guess Rashford is one of them.
Mm.
Marshall.
If you like resting both of them, yeah, you haven't got many
Yeah.
options.
And
But
considering that Rashford generally plays at the same time as Martial.
Yeah.
Anyway.
no, agree.
But Van der Beek, I think, is a great signing for him.
Yeah,
and I think he'll be a consistent starter in that team. I think it's pretty much exactly what they needed.
I just feel like he's a little bit too similar to Fernandez as from what I've been reading.
Mm,
So I wouldn't be jumping on him early.
mm,
I'd want to see how they fit him in, if he's like a rotation, a bit of squad,
mm.
or if he tries to squeeze him in, because I just don't know how
Would
he's
they play
gonna...
him in deep somewhere? They can be that like.
That's the thing. Like,
I
does
was
he
thinking
go-
they're going to play him next to Pogba, and
That's
then
what I was
Fernandez
thinking.
was going to play it up.
But that's the
ahead
thing,
of
though.
them.
Those three, though, then you've got no like I know Matic is kind of done or he's older, and so like McTominay's there coming through, but you got no kind of.
I think they're just going to play Pogba a bit deeper, like he did at Juve.
But then, well, where's your destroyer? Like, at least we talked about it Chelsea before, like Kante being the only one left on his own.
Destroyer. I mean, you got Harry Maguire. He's going to be bribing all the officials and everything.
Good from you, Mylo.
Yeah, if he can get his handcuffs off in time.
Oh, Harry.
What do you guys reckon about Newcastle signing Callum Wilson?
I think that's like for the outside of the pretty much Chelsea. I think it's up there with like one of the signings
of the season. Yeah.
Well, he had to come back to the Prem, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know he's a bit injury prone. He's had some knee issues and stuff, but the fact that Ryan Fraser's joined them as well on a free.
Really?
Ryan Fraser joined.
Yeah, from Bournemouth.
I didn't see
So,
that.
and we remember how hot they were 2 seasons ago together.
Yeah.
They were like Siggy and Boney back in the OG days.
Oh,
So
Glory
who
days.
knows?
What a throwback.
Who knows?
I wasn't expecting that. What a throwback.
Next time we're going to be
and-
talking about Mishu or something. I don't know.
Oh,
my God.
no, don't. That would get me really excited. Well, also Erling Haaland did a tribute to Michu in his international. He did the iconic celebration of
the thing.
the hand near the ear.
Yeah,
wow.
Speaking of
Love
Michu,
it.
so good timing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's a good signing. I think he'll be lit for them.
Yeah,
Okay.
nice.
Yeah.
Well, I guess another big one to mention is Tottenham signed Matt Doherty.
Yeah. And that's another signing that could be the signing of the season.
Yeah.
A lot of like pundits and stuff are just saying
Yeah.
that that's just such a massive signing for Spurs.
I think they had trouble with Aurier
Mm.
last year, and it's quite funny. I was talking to my brother who also plays in another league, and he or someone else like drafted Aurier because they didn't know that Doherty had signed.
Oh,
shit.
really?
So good.
And that's an early draft as well.
Yeah, they drafted super early. But yeah, that's a really good signing, and we know how. It was interesting though because last year he was in a back five, wing back, whereas Mourinho doesn't always play that way.
No.
he doesn't
So
like
I don't
that.
know if he'll be
That's a
like
very good point.
nullified a little bit, not being able to bomb as much.
Yeah, that could be very true. I wouldn't be jumping on.
But
Yeah,
I think he'll help
too
defensively
early.
anyway from clean sheet point.
For
But
sure, yeah.
he
But
might not
still.
get as many goals and
Yeah,
assists.
well, the clean sheets in a Mourinho team, I mean, usually, not so much at Man U, but they're usually a
Or
lot.
Tottenham, but
Yeah, not
historically.
Tottenham so far, but like
Chelsea.
he hasn't really had any time to,
No, exactly.
sign players.
And this could be a
this
big
is one of
factor
those
there.
ones. So,
Yeah, good shout with that one.
Suchek was doing pretty well towards the end of last season, and West Ham have locked him in.
Yeah, I like
he's going to
him.
be like a filler. I feel like he could definitely go in one of just like that fifth or kind of midfield pick.
Yeah, he'll end up in a squad, like place for sure. He's not
100%.
gonna.
He'll go in the draft.
Yeah,
And then finally, Wolves breaking their transfer record
Yeah, with Fabio Silva.
on an 18-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah, youngster. I
Mm.
don't know. He'll play, I think, a decent amount. I was doing some reading, and people reckon would get like 20 games.
Mm.
But I think he'll get a lot of sub performances. And it depends how much.
Thanks for doing the reading on that, by the way.
Oh, that's okay. Of course, with they're like playing that 3 up front, and it's a mix of like Traore, Jimenez, Jota,
Yeah.
or the new guy who came in last year, Podence. He was playing a lot towards the back end.
Okay.
So unless he slots in one of those and rotates and steals a spot,
Mm.
it's a TBC. But definitely,
And I heard that he's basically like a wonder kid that it's probably a future buy instead of this season.
yeah. They reckon he will get minutes, but
Mm.
Does show
I
a lot.
don't know.
It does show a lot about what Wolves are trying to achieve.
yeah, he literally was about to break into Porto's first team this season.
Yeah.
So he hasn't really played a lot of first team football. So one to watch. Maybe pull the trigger late if you want to just take a punt. You run out of other options and you want to spice it up.
Yeah.
He's got some pretty stiff competition.
Yeah, that's the hard thing. But yeah, I think that's like a good wrap of the signings there,
Yeah.
boys. So I think we've got a lot of players to think about.
Definitely.
It's exciting. It's getting me buzzing. I'm feeling buzzed for the
Yeah.
draft, man. There's like so many players.
I am
It's a
too.
Big day.
Who am I gonna get?
I
I'm
know.
excited.
It's like, are you going to be like Ruxin from the league?
Oh, oh God! Don't get me that excited.
Let's move
That's when I get the
into,
trophy, I will.
Let's move into our next segment.
Yep.
Promoted teams.
Now, there's interesting ones here.
Yeah.
Like Fulham snuck in, really. Like they weren't. They were.
They did. They snuck in through that playoff final. And
West Brom kind of did too because they kind of made a late charge. Like Brentford fucked it up.
I know,
So-
man. I was actually hoping for Brentford, to be honest, just because I watched this
Yeah,
show.
me too.
People just do nothing, but they didn't. And well, let's talk about Fulham because Mitrovic is back, and he had a blinder last season. 26 goals.
26 goals.
Top goal scorer for the championship.
But boys, that did happen. We're getting a bit deja vu, I feel.
I know. Because he
Remember
was
the
that
year
good before he
before?
came.
The year
Yeah.
before when they were in the championship.
But you got to
killed it,
respect that they're
came to the
back.
Prem. Yeah, respect him.
Because they
I
left for
just-
one season, they're back again. But
I'm just worried about. He might get like 10 goals,
Mm.
but Fulham in general, I'm worried about.
I think he's definitely a third striker.
Oh, 100%.
If
100%.
you've got,
Yeah.
you need to pick up a third striker and he's still available, you got to get him. And I mean, Tom Kearney as well. I mean, look, he only scored 8 and 3 in the championship, but he had a blinder in all the other cup competitions.
yeah.
He played really, really well, and he's basically their playmaker. And I mean, as like a fourth or fifth mid, he's going to be solid and he's going to be getting you some points.
Yeah, it could be interesting. He got the 5th most passes in the division last season for
Yeah.
Fulham. So
Heato with the stats.
Yeah.
chat.
And
Love
just,
that.
just moving on to West Brom, they actually they score goals, guys. You got Robson Kanu and Charlie Austin up top with 10 and 11 goals apiece.
Mm.
Yeah.
And Pereira's back as well.
Yeah, that is interesting.
He looked good for them.
He looked really good. He scored 8 goals and a bunch of assists. So, definitely if, again, like Kearney, your fourth or fifth mid.
Yeah, 100%. And
just-
finally, wrapping it up with Leeds.
Yeah.
Bamford, ex-Chelsea boy, isn't it?
Ex-Chelsea boy,
Yeah.
loaned out to Palace. He's got experience and, he was 16 goals in the championship.
Solid.
And he's actually put on a bit of weight, since he's left.
Bulked up. He was a bit of a skinny
He
lad.
was
from
skinny.
memory.
And just have to make a side note. One time, it was about 3 years ago, our host for the show, actually, Chris Waite, picked him up in the 3rd round.
Bamford
Yeah,
Really?
you did.
in the 3rd round.
No
Third
way.
No way, mate.
How's that not a hashtag?
you
Look it up.
We've got
You did a-
Berahino
You
in
did
the
a
third.
Berahino.
This is slanderous.
I-
This is slanderous. Where is? I don't
Look,
see.
we don't
anything
have time
backing
to
that
go
up.
in it, but
yeah, that's what I thought.
I've got the
Okay.
stat.
I trust you.
Oh,
I
you've
trust
got
you.
I'll bring it up.
Oh yeah,
trust
well,
him.
Yeah,
trusts
he don't trust me. And just
easily.
finally for Leeds, I just got to mention Pablo Hernandez is back. All right, so he's-
Pablo, I know it's been a while. Hasn't
he
it?
was in
Swansea
Swansea days,
days.
yeah. And he's got heaps of experience in the Prem. And last year he went 9 goals, 9 assists in the championship.
He's just still going. I think he's like 31 or
yeah, he's
32
decent,
or
but
something.
he's kind of like a David Silva.
Yeah.
And I think if he's available, he could possibly even be like
Yeah.
a third
I feel like
midfielder.
we got more spicy options from promoted teams this year.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like there wasn't that many
No, I can't-
last season. Like
I stayed pretty clear of
like
everyone
Norwich,
last-
like Pookie was the only.
yeah, and
Sheffield obviously were a revelation. Like that's
Yeah.
a bit hard. Like, but they were mostly defense. Like they don't score a lot of goals.
no,
But and Villa, basically Grealish was your only fantasy player.
that's it. Yeah,
But yeah, no, I think that's interesting, guys. I think we've got some cool options to look at
To look
for
at, yeah.
draft.
I'm looking up this old draft.
and also I should mention Leeds are pretty good defensively. So there's a couple of like decent options for Leeds
Yeah.
defenders. We've got Dallas, Ayling, Cooper, and Douglas, and Douglas looks like the pick of the bunch. But I feel they could be the new kind of Sheffield with their defensive
Yeah,
prowess.
potentially.
So
I like that.
yeah.
I like that for sure.
So
Yeah. Have you found? Do you
no,
find
I haven't
your?
found anything.
Yeah.
I haven't found any evidence that I picked up Bamford ever.
Okay, we'll have a look at this.
Miles.
Don't worry,
Come
I've
back
got
to you.
it. I've got it.
Oh, where? Yeah, locked away in a bowl. Yeah,
I'll,
bullshit.
Yeah, I
I'll,
deleted the spreadsheet.
I'll bring
but
it up
it's actually
after the
there.
podcast because
Okay.
we've got a little bit to finish up on.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, look, let's talk about our game.
Yeah.
What's it called, Miles? How do you play?
Look, our game's called Kings and Peasants, and it's going to be a game that we play between the three of us,
Am I the king? You're the peasant.
always.
Wow, that was easy.
And basically, we pick one kind of fantasy royalty player, someone that's, basically, 9 million and above. I guess we'll set the parameter at.
Yeah.
Well, let's do 8.5.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we have to pick a peasant, which we're calling them, an 8.5 or below.
It's basically just an outsider.
Yeah.
So we're trying to
Yeah.
pick someone
Not your big name, basically.
that might not
Yeah.
necessarily be in your squad already,
Mm.
but could be playing a couple good games, maybe getting some opportunities. Maybe it's just for us to kind of, just try and scout some players that aren't already in teams.
That's it. And I did want to make a rule, and I want to discuss with you guys.
Hit me.
You can't pick the same player twice,
Ever?
ever.
Oh, shit.
I like it.
Yeah.
38 games.
Mm.
Okay, that makes sense because we
Yeah.
can take turns at picking that player.
Exactly.
Take turns.
Obviously,
But then don't we all just end up picking the same players?
No, but it will be different weeks.
At different
And
times, yeah,
you can't
true.
pick the same player as in the same week as someone else. So if I pick up, say, Sterling in 1 week for my king, you can't pick up Sterling.
Okay.
Oh,
I
yeah,
like
100%.
I like that.
Yeah, I'm behind that.
Okay. We'll see how this goes. We might run out of players eventually.
I think it'll be all right.
But we'll see how we go. In worst case, we'll just do it like you can't pick them for a couple of weeks, like back-to-back weeks or something.
Well, guys, we're going to have to
if we run out of players.
Let's say you have to go through everyone before
you come back to them.
Well, we're going to have to pick now.
Yeah, I haven't even thought about it. Have you?
I'm
No.
ready to go.
Oh,
Are you? Okay, well, you go first then.
My barrels are locked and loaded. I'm ready to fire.
Fire them.
Cool.
Fire them now.
Okay, so I'm getting on one early. My king for this week is Aubameyang.
Okay. Cool.
Obvious.
They got Fulham.
Yeah,
I think he's just going to run riot
sure.
from the get go. It's a bit hard this week because there's some teams that aren't playing.
Mm.
We've got a few bye weeks for some teams.
Good to know.
True,
Who are those
true.
teams?
The Manchester teams, I'm pretty sure both of them
Yeah, okay.
are not playing this week. And my second player
Your peasant.
is going to be from West Ham.
Yeah.
They've got Newcastle. I'm going to pick Jared Bowen.
Oh, you're going to go Bowen
Yeah.
with the form.
Alan, I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, I really like it.
That's my peasant for this week.
Look, I know that Chris likes to take his time, so I'll go next. I'll help him
I'm
out.
Get
very,
in there,
I'm
mate.
very considered.
Mate, whoever gets in quick, you can pick that player before someone else does. So
That's what I was thinking.
that's why I jumped on it.
So I'm actually going to go with who I think that I'll end up drafting because I'm second round draft pick, and I'm just going to go with him. So I'm going to go with Salah as my king because I'm expecting him to start strong. And for my peasant, I'm actually going to go with Saka from Arsenal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get that. You're picking the good fixtures there in terms of promoted teams. Versus...
Yeah, you see what I did there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can. Yeah. I'm picking
Yeah,
up
all
what
right,
you're
all
doing.
right. That's enough patting on your back. Let's move on.
All right. Come on, Slowpoke. Who you got?
King. My king will be
Josh King doesn't play in the Premier League anymore, mate.
Heato. I don't respect that.
All right. Who's your king? Who's your king? Who are you crowning?
I'm going to crown Mane.
Okay.
Yeah. Fair enough.
I think, he could,
Yeah.
have a
fixture-
pretty good year.
Yeah.
So
It's a
Fixtures-
tantalizing fixture against promoted Leeds.
fixture's pretty good. And then for my peasant, oh my god, I'm gonna give someone a chance here. I think Thomas Suchek.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit of a weird outsider. I don't know.
Yeah, well, he's one of the
Could carry
four
on the
guys we were
form.
speaking about. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I see a logic there. I like it.
Look, to be honest, I could have spent more time looking at that, but I was a bit rushed. But I think that'll
No, I think that's good.
hold up.
No, I get that. I get that.
All right. Well, to wrap it up, we'll do a very quick introduction into the fixtures of game week 1.
Mm-hmm.
Heato, have you got that up on your screen?
Yeah, I've got it up. So,
That's lucky.
following on from our picks and some of the players we highlighted, first game of the week is Fulham at home versus Arsenal.
Yep. So
I think Arsenal's going to be a good pick there.
Arsenal, yeah.
I'm
Spicy.
hoping for an upset, by the way. Just throwing it out there.
Look, I think we're gonna do our behind the scenes predictions for the season, and we'll review them at the end of the year. I think between the three of us, but
Like
sure.
that.
For sure.
early teaser Fulham not looking good in my list.
Well, Heato. It's no longer Malstradamus.
All right, so next game. So then we got a bit of a busy Sunday, or for us, it's midnight.
Who's
kicking-
us?
Kicking off in Australia. We got Palace versus Southampton. I think that'll be a spicy game. I think Southampton might look pretty good there.
Yep.
Then we got Liverpool Leeds. We spoke about before.
Could be a good game.
Yeah,
Potential.
it could be a good
Two
game.
exciting teams. Could be interesting. I don't know about our preseason form, so we'll see how we kick off.
Yep.
Then
Go
we got
Leeds.
West Ham, Newcastle.
Ooh, West Ham, Newcastle. I couldn't pick a winner there.
Yeah,
I mean,
it'll
actually,
be
I'd
either
probably
dead
pick
rubber
West Ham.
or like I don't think will Callum Wilson start? I don't know.
I
Is he
think
ready to go?
Newcastle are going to go well this season.
Yeah, I think they'll do better than normal. They've made some good signings, but I think that could be a good game. And then we got West Brom versus Leicester. West Brom, first little kind of exposure to them and back in the Prem, so that'll be interesting to watch from get go.
Yep.
Next game we got Spurs versus Everton.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Spicy.
I like that.
I don't know if we'll
Yeah,
get all the
good
new
game,
players,
mate.
all
That
the
could
new
be a good
players
game.
from Everton. I don't know if we'll see all of them. Seeing as James and Doucouré just signed this week, I don't know if that's too soon
knows?
for them, but that could be a spicy game.
Okay.
Then to wrap up the week, we've got Sheffield versus Wolves. I think that will be a good game.
Yeah.
That could be a good game. Yeah.
Spicy game, especially just to see if Sheffield can, continue with their solid defense, especially now they've lost Dean Henderson.
And Wolves continue with their solid
exactly.
attack.
But also, will the long season for Wolves hurt them? Who knows?
Yeah. Okay.
Big question
very
marks.
true.
Question marks here, boys. And then
Very
to
exciting.
finish up with your lads.
Yeah.
Repeat of your preseason game, Brighton, Chelsea.
I'm actually quite glad that we're versing them because we just played them, so we know what.
I'm surprised you boys didn't pick anyone from Chelsea for your Kings.
To be honest, I nearly picked Werner, and I
Yeah.
kind of forgot about it.
I think that would have been a good shout for a King this
I
week.
know. I probably should have.
I think
because
they
he's
could-
already scored against them.
I
just
just
like
I feel
a
like
week
they
ago.
could rip Brighton a new one.
I'd
just to
love
get-
that.
I hope so.
I just feel like they could,
Yeah.
but we'll see.
Let's
We
hope.
will.
Let's hope Lamps lights a fire under him.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's going to be very exciting. Well, good luck with your drafts out there.
Yeah. You
Good luck
too,
to you,
everyone.
boys.
Yeah.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
I don't really mean it, but I
I
mean
think
it to
you
the
mean it a little
listeners.
bit,
I mean
yeah.
it to the listeners.
Okay.
But
Right.
you guys are
Yeah.
nah,
Yeah.
I thought he was actually being nice for a change.
wrong, mate. You obviously don't know me.
I was too skeptical to believe that.
Yeah. of
Oh
course.
no.
All right.